Hey, do you ever find yourself procrastinating on something you know you have to do, something very important, and instead you press play on that movie and start watching instead? Well, I have a solution for you. I have a solution for you to stop procrastinating and getting the stuff that you need to do as soon as possible. And the solution is go ahead and watch that movie. Don't stop yourself. And by the way, I'm not kidding. But I have one small request from you. Before you press play and watch that movie, I want you to pause and close your eyes for 1 minute, 60 seconds. 60 seconds is all that's stopping you from watching that movie. You can do that. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Hold and out. Do that a few times. And all I ask from you in those 60 seconds is observe and listen and watch the internal turmoil that is happening within you. You see, change is very slow and change is very hard because there is a whole bunch of automatic subconscious routines that happen without us even realizing. When there is a negative emotion coming up, we automatically are programmed to go and distract ourselves with that movie. And it happens so quick that we don't even realize there's something going on internally until after the movie is done and it's late at night and we haven't finished our work and we feel guilty. So the first step to change is being aware of those subconscious automatic programs that run. And by taking that minute to pause, we can observe our feelings and ask ourselves, what are we really running away from at this moment? Why do we want to watch this movie so bad? And what are we feeling right at this moment? And after you've done that, hey, go ahead, watch that movie guilt-free because you've done something good here. You've done something productive and you're finding the first clues to permanent change. For me, this experiment yielded a lot. One of the reasons that I found from doing this, closing my eyes and observing my own feelings, was that I had no clue how this task would lead me to where I want to be. So if that's financial freedom or success or achieving my desires and being fulfilled and achieving my purpose and finding a mission, I didn't know how that small task was leading up to this big dream and vision that I have. I couldn't connect the dots. I couldn't tell you how this fits the puzzle. And so once I understood how important this task is and how it's going to lead me closer to my dreams, that helps eases the burden of, hey, what's the point of this task? This is a hard task. It's not a fun task. It's uncomfortable. So I'm just going to run away from it. Another reason was that the task was very overwhelming. I had the tendency to put in a block on my calendar, a 3-hour block, and it'd be like, solve this problem that I've been facing for years of my life, and I'm expecting to solve it in 3 hours. Find your career. Find your purpose. That's not realistic. It's not reasonable for you to expect to find what your true essence and true fulfillment lies in a 3-hour block. You have to be realistic here. And so once you've set this unrealistic task, of course you know you're going to fail it. You're not going to be able to do it. You don't know how to do it, so you're just going to escape and watch that movie instead. So what I found helped me was, instead of having, hey, figure out what my next path or choice is going to be, or what my purpose will be. I can instead have smaller actionable steps when I plan for that task. So instead of blocking 3 hours and be like, find your purpose, it'd be like, write a list of any and all things that you feel that you resonate with. Write a list of your strengths. Create a I would make it so simple that I would just create a Google Doc or create a new Word document where you can place that list in. Grab a piece of pen and paper and write it down. That's literally the task that I would write in my calendar for me to do. I would simplify and break it down so much that I have no excuse not to do it. A friend of mine once told me, he's like, hey, Omar, how do you eat an elephant? I was like, yo, I don't know. I've never eaten an elephant before. Who eats elephants? He's like, yo, it's not the point. The elephant is huge, but the way you eat it is one small bite at a time. And he's like, the lesson is, when you place a huge problem and you want to solve it and you want to eat this elephant whole, you're not going to be able to do it. You're setting yourself up for failure. But instead, see how you can break down the problem into smaller actionable steps that you can take, such that they're not as overwhelming, they're not so scary and daunting and impossible. And these are only a couple things that you might be feeling that are deterring you away from your task. There are so many countless others, such as, hey, what if this fails? What will people think of me? And we've talked plenty about all these other reasons in previous GouFlections. But the point is, self-awareness and recognition is the first step to change. So before you press play on that movie, take a minute and observe and learn more about the reasons why you're escaping and procrastinating your tasks. And then go ahead and procrastinate